Hey everyone, Andang here for more of Mordor. When we last left off, we were getting ready to finally go into the second area. We had done the allegiance stuff and all sorts of other cool awesome stuff. And now the Eyes-of-Mouth is guarded. But when has that ever proven to be an issue for you? Okay, well, let's continue on. And yes, it did say hindrance to you there, but it went away before I could read the rest of it. So now we are good to continue along, deeper into Mordor. And there in the distance is Mount Doom, I believe. That is going to be pretty epic when we finally go there. And as you can see, it's just a lot worse area than anywhere we've been previously. But so glad we're finally out of a dune. That zone was really weird and just felt completely different than anywhere else in LOTRO. I thought I had a lot of good plot lines, but it was just like totally different than anything we'd ever experienced before. And I'm not sure that was necessarily a good thing. It was just some weird plot lines. I don't know. Anyway, let's go to this first camp here and endure all this lag. My goodness. If you have braved beyond the borders of a dune. This looks like quite a few, though. Like, I wouldn't say this is a small party for being inside Mordor. Alright, let's get the Stalemaster first. Okay, let's talk to Gimli here. It is good to be in the thick of things again, isn't it, Andang? It was odd to see dwarves in a dune. I did not realize any lived in Mordor. Do you suppose there are more of my kin lost in these lands? Maybe, I guess. I mean, it seems like there's more dwarves in Mordor than outside of Mordor. I mean, there's quite a few here, which is really sad, because most of them are like slaves and stuff, which is crazy. Alright, we'll talk to Legolas in a second. You've found Brungos in the Doomfold. Well, that's great. He's up here. Alright, we'll listen to the game and talk up here.
Welcome to the Doomfold of Dor Armath.
But even as I bid you this greeting, the words rebel upon my lips. Welcome. Who could be welcomed in this place? It is the way of my people to survive in the wilderness, hunting game and foraging for food, even when the land seems barren. Those skills would be well tested in this place. Luckily, it should not be necessary. I have bought supplies enough to last me, and in any event, I would not trust anything that could grow here. Was this valley once fertile? I cannot imagine it, but mortal eyes are oft quick to judge, even how little we see of the great span of time. Before Sauron came, was this land green and growing? Brungos dismisses the thought with a shrug. Mayhap I will consider further when we are safely away from here, Andang. For now the land is dead and full of enemies, and we should ask pointed questions with dagger and blade, and set aside any questions that do not fell our foes. Dang, that got dark real quick. Okay, maybe this place was green once. Let's kill everyone. That's basically where that went. My goodness, Ranger. Okay. Well, let's talk to Ingold.
Come.
We have managed to push through a dune with only a small resistance. Now the task before us is to see what remains of Sauron's citadel, Barad-dûr. I'm glad you are with us. Wouldn't want to go into a place like that alone. As we have fought together on the Pelennor, I well know you can protect yourself. Still, the plains of Golgoroth are filled with fires and crevices, caused by the eruption of Mount Doom. It is a dangerous place, and we must tread carefully. Our first scouting party have just returned, and with them they bring a captive. The man they have captured is a black Númenórean servant. He refuses to speak to us. We must either persuade him of our cause, or somehow convince him to talk. I was hoping that you would try to speak to the man, see if you can find out what he knows, and who he serves. Well, I'm guessing it's not anyone here. Okay. Alright. Lomazar. Okay. Yeah, he looks like not a friendly guy, that's for sure. I think he's chained up to, like, actual stuff on the wall. That's pretty cool. Okay. What is going... He has, like, his eyes shut or something? Or they got scarred? Dang. Look at that scar there. That's brutal. Okay, let's talk, buddy.
What do you want?
You question the captive. The man seems to have no interest in anything you tell him, or any question you ask. The captive does nothing. Okay, apparently we need to intimidate him. The captive flinches. Apparently you punched close to him.
What?
I have nothing to say to the likes of you. It seems the captive's will is starting to break. The captive looks worried after you get angry.
Must I speak with the likes of you?
If I speak to thee, Dagobeth shall have me killed. The Black Word is not one to be reckoned with. My name is Lomazar. I was once a faithful servant to Dagobeth. I have made more than one mistake, and as punishment was struck blind. To escape further torment, I severed my bonds, only to be captured again, and brought here. Perchance you will spare me torment inside the walls of Mordor, in exchange of knowledge?
What?
I say again, you must give me your promise to send myself away from these lands. Even rotting in a dungeon until the end of days would be better than endless pain and torture at the hand of the Black Word. You give your word that Lomazar will be treated fairly, as a prisoner. Good. Now listen closely, as I have not the strength nor the will to repeat what I'm about to say. I do not know why. Only the most important and awe-inspiring bits fell to earth, while much of the city remains. Dagobeth, the Black Word known to you as the Mouth of Sauron, has claimed what still stands of Barad-dûr. He has many followers, myself included. Now Dagobeth seeks to rule all of Mordor, and take Sauron's place, by use of powerful relics buried within the tower's walls. None will oppose him. His faithful servants are not to be trifled with either. Gloruggoth, the Hole Warden, Sapakar, the Cleaver, Krasabhursa, Bringer of Tears. These are all names that strike fear upon mention. Do you now possess the knowledge you seek? I guess so. Yeah, let's see. We have to search rubble for lesser artifacts, thwart all these different people. Okay. Wow, we got 3 things now. Okay.
Must I speak with the likes of you?
I would be wary in tracking Sapakar the Cleaver. The mighty Olog might easily be outsmarted, though makes up for such in brute force. I know not where to find him. Well, thanks for that helpful tip. If you seek allies of Dagobeth, look first to an enemy of Sauron. Many years ago, a beast by the name of Narkral crossed Sauron. He was locked away in the dungeons of Barad-dûr for his crimes. The dungeons can still be found within the ruins of the citadel. There are troubling rumors that Dagobeth has spoken with Narkral. Find the beast and kill it at once. If the tales are true, there are few as dangerous as Narkral in the lands of Mordor. I find that kind of hard to believe, but maybe, buddy, maybe.
Do not make me regret this.
You wish to seek more knowledge about Krasabhursa, the Bringer of Tears. I cannot help you. Well, I have seen the Wraith before. She is a mystery. She follows her own will and serves Dagobeth with devotion. But it is in her own secretive ways. Okay, buddy. Thanks for all the help, I guess. That was quite a bit of work just to get even that. You describe Sapakar as best you can to Ingold. Men under my command have reported a large creature similar in description to this Sapakar that you mention. The monster was last seen near Barad-dûr. I hope this assists you on your search, my friend. Okay, so we gotta go look for that thing. Let's now talk to the elf here. Gimli and I have not ventured over far into these lands, my friend, and I am not certain I wish to. The men of Gondor call this place Dor Marth, the Doomfold in the common speech. Its name was wisely chosen by those men, for I feel a deeper shadow looming over us even so far from the ruins of the Dark Tower. Gimli has found old tools of dwarven make in this ruin, and though he will not speak of it, unease has crept into his mind. If ever dwarves dwelt within Mordor, it seems their fate was not a pleasant one, and that their line is long ended. This causeway forks some distance to the south. One path leads southward and appears less well kept by the orcs, while the other rises and continues east to Barad-dûr. I would ask that you follow the causeway south to the fork, and then beyond to the east. Search for foes or those still held as slaves, and perhaps we shall find something to raise Gimli's spirits, and draw his thoughts from those of his distant kin. Do not stray far from the road, my friend, for we have much still to learn of the hidden evils of Mordor. Alright, well, we got plenty to do. Let's go ahead and get this started. You notice what appears to be a dwarf and a goat lying still beside the causeway. I do? Where? Oh, dang, over here. Dang. That's fairly recent. Okay, let's figure out what's going on here. The dwarf lies slain in queer armoring. Rod of dark steel, the shield remains unblemished, despite the fate of its wielder. What happened here? Far from wild, the goat is saddled and laden with various trinkets and supplies. What was this dwarf doing here? That is so weird. Okay. Huh. Let's head back to Gimli and turn this in, I guess. What is this? You tell Gimli of the slain dwarf you found, and offer him the shield. By your description of his wounds, the dwarf you encountered must have been caught by a stray stone thrown from the depths of Mount Doom. A poor dwarf indeed, but not one slain by malice. The Dark Lord must not have brought my kin to ruin after all. Aha! Look at this, my friend. This shield is newly forged and crafted by skilled hands. So dwarves still dwell in Mordor. But where have they made their home? Aye, this is a tricky land. I do not know what beast could live in such a place, but dwarves are hardy folk. These dwarves of Mordor must dwell somewhere in the Doomfold, but perhaps they do not wish to be found. If they make use of dwarf doors as the House of Durin once did in Khazad-dûm, even the most thorough search would never bear fruit. Let us hope it does not come to that. You found the dwarf near the causeway that leads to the Dark Tower, did you? If you ask me, no dwarf would be wise to travel these lands alone. And even if one did, they would soon be sought out if they did not return. Patrol the causeway to the east, and see if you do not find others of his kin, and ones with better luck, I would hope. Alright, that sounds like an awesome plotline. I can't wait to uncover and see if there are more dwarves just within Mordor. That's really cool of an idea, and just the idea of there being like some outpost within here is very similar to stuff that they did in Angmar, but it's cool that it is, the race of dwarves this time instead of, other groups. I think that that is pretty cool and makes somewhat sense within the lore and, adds in that extra diversity that I was hoping for within Mordor so that we can have, these different types of stories going on. So, really excited to see where that goes. But that is sadly the end of this episode. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like down below, and I'll see you again real soon for more of Mordor.